Okay, so you guys were probably expecting this a fair bit sooner, like on when was the 31st? It was on Wednesday because that was the day after my birthday, which by the way, I'm 23 now. But that's besides the point. You guys are probably expecting this video, end of the year video, on Wednesday, which clearly not the case. Main reason that didn't end up happening, by the way, is kind of just because I have to get things like reset up. By the way, my lighting setup should be similar in future videos to what it's supposed to be. There's still several things that are not properly set up right now. In any case, first off, yes, I am able to record here at home now. Obviously, I'm not dragging my whole ass PC back home and to the apartment. So you might be curious as to how I'm doing this. Got a little, yeah. That is, and by the way, don't mind the mess. My desk hasn't been necessarily been cleaned since, or yeah, it hasn't necessarily been cleaned since I like left for college. Like every time I've come back home for like weekends and such, I haven't cleaned it off or anything or organized stuff. I mean to in like the next year or so, for when I like properly return here. But for now, that's just not what's happening. But yeah, I have a new laptop. It is. I mean, you saw my MacBook Air. I no longer require its contributions, but I'm still going to be using it for like school stuff and such. But new laptop. It is a gaming laptop. I know they have a bad stigma around them, like because it's like obviously it's not as powerful as a PC or like this, that, and the third. It really boils down to my uses for it allow me to do what I need to with this laptop basically. And my main ones are gonna be ease of like portability from going from the apartment back home, vice versa and such. In particular with like actually being able to edit videos, which I wasn't able to do. People who've been keeping up with my community posts probably know that more than anybody because I mention it because I go home and I don't have anything to properly edit on. I've tried to export like a couple second clip on my MacBook and that shit takes actual eternity. Yeah, my MacBook is just it wouldn't suffice for anything like that. But this laptop is going to do just fine in that department, I believe. And if you're curious about specs, it has a 5060 and a Core i7 14650HX, I believe. So it should be pretty solid. Also has 32 gigabytes of RAM. So yeah, it should plenty suffice. And the other and besides that, like also the school uses of it, I'm also most likely going to be using this as sort of a console in itself for videos. And what I mean by that is this does have a good bit better specs than my actual PC. So when it comes to like specific games I intend to play that are like Steam games or PC in general, I will most likely be using this as like the same way I do my PS5 and run it through a capture card for videos. We'll see how that goes. I don't necessarily know if that'll run super smoothly, but we'll see when I try it at some point. I don't know when I'll try it, but yeah. And then besides that, obviously, in terms of recording at home, it will do the job as this video will most likely turn out. It will do the job plenty, and this is part of my home setup, by the way, because I have enough. Like I would only need to bring back maybe a couple components, including this face cam, because this is the same one I've been using. It's kind of easy to take home. It's not that insane. I like the other components of that is just software and such. I needed to replicate, which I did. I replicated everything that I have in the software for it. But yeah, I have a home setup now, so I can record at home if I need to, if I want to, especially on extended breaks, away from my PC and such. Um, yeah, again, I apologize that it's taken so long to get this video out. Meant to do it earlier, but I still don't have everything set up yet, hence the lighting situation, which I mentioned a little bit ago. And also like that isn't on and such. I have to get that figured out. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared yet, but I do have two videos that I already have two videos just to edit in general. So those might be the ones coming out before I record anything new here. That is, if I record anything new here, we'll see if that even happens yet. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go either, just because I haven't done it yet. But yeah, that's on that front. Now, talking about like this year and last year. Last year, I don't think I actually hit any of the number goals that I had in mind, or that I stated in like my last year's video or my last end of the year video, which is fine. Honestly, I'm at this point right now where it's like I don't give a shit about the numbers. I just want to get into a state where I am enjoying the content I'm making. I'm enjoying making the videos and just sending them out there basically. And I want to get back. I don't know if I was really ever in that sort of mindset. Part of that is just I want it to be consistent, and technically speaking, that's what it was like in the first half of the year. But at the same time, that's not really the case, because I set a goal for myself, and I basically made it mandatory for myself to do that. It wasn't necessarily like me hitting a flow state of any kind to where I'm enjoying making all the videos that I was. Because sometimes I just like was like, oh, what do I have in mind for the next couple of days that I could make a video on, and then going with that, even if it was something I didn't exactly love, like the Ferocious demo video. That one was kind of iffy, but it is what it is. I want to just enjoy making videos and the process over the next hopeful like year or so. That's like the main priority of this year. I have no number goals in mind. I'm not going to make any. That's not what's going to happen. It's not that I don't care. It's just that don't want to I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like I need to be caring about that when that's just not the goal. Because again, I've said in previous videos, seeing high view counts is whatever when there's no other output from that. It's not people sticking around or anything of that sort. It's just a high view count, and then it's like 4 likes in comparison. It's nothing that I should be caring about. And at this point I kind of just don't. Despite, what I said about the Wolverine video, but that's different. It was also like several months ago when I, was a little peeved getting back into things, but it's besides the point. And also, speaking of like the last half year, I was kind of disappointed in myself for dropping the ball basically almost completely in the last year, in the last half year. And I want to try not to do that. I know part of it was like I didn't even know what it was going to be like, balancing that with college and such. And I know I was able to do it better than I ended up doing, and I want to try and fix that. Hopefully, make it better, and hopefully, I want to look back on this year very fondly. I have a good feeling about this year, despite the fact that I'm making my end of the year video several days into the year. Don't mind that. We'll get there. But I have a good feeling about this year, and hopefully I will look back on it with the same feeling as I have now, which is that it was a solid year. And speaking of that, and content in general, I am going to stop making promises on well, that's not true. There are 4 promises I have in mind, very specific ones. And keep in mind, just because these are the only promises I make doesn't mean this is all I'm going to do. It's just the only things that I am promising you I'm going to do. Wolverine playthrough, Reanimal playthrough, and X-Men Origins Wolverine playthrough. And just to be clear, just because I'm promising them does not dignify or solidify how fast those come out, because we both know what happened. Or if you've been around for a little bit, you know what happened with the Little Nightmares 3 playthrough. It just kind of, that took a little bit. But yeah, that might happen with some of them. But I'm guaranteeing you that those playthroughs will be a thing, and they will come out. The other thing, I think I said the number. So the last promise is that I will do my best to make this a good year and do my best with content. That is the last promise I'm making. Because besides that, promises are not my thing, as I've stated about 500 bajillion times at this point. But I'm not good with sticking to things. I'd rather leave it open-ended and just smash any expectations that I set for myself, because when that's the case, I know that I'm growing, because current position wise, I'm basically making promises based off of what I think I'm currently capable of sticking to and such. If I smash that, then I'm exceeding my own expectations, which is good. It's what I want, but it's like, we'll see what happens this year and if I do go through with that or not. But besides the promises in mind, that doesn't mean that that's just what my content is limited to. Obviously, there's a whole year. There's a lot of in-between shit. I don't know if I'm going to say what to expect. I'm just gonna say I still am at a point where I have like limitless amount of videos I can do, playthroughs I can do, and that's kind of just gonna stick to being the case. There are, I even before I continue with older stuff, there are, just keep in mind, because I did mention I wanted to do a playthrough. I don't know when that's gonna happen, and hopefully it happens before the game. It's not something I'm promising though, because I'm I need to give myself leeway. But there's more games outside of that, out of the stuff that I listed, that I am excited for, and I probably will be playing. Whether or not content comes from that, I don't know, but it's certainly a goal of mine to do so. But like, it's not like guaranteed that it'll happen. And there are, yeah, because there are several games that are coming out that I'm excited for. Hopefully I do make content on them, but we'll see. And even like besides AAA titles, there's also indie stuff that's coming out this year that I'm excited for, that I will hopefully be making content on as well. So the reason I'm not mentioning any of that is because I don't want to like say things and then it just doesn't happen due to shitty circumstances, and then any expectations you guys have get put in the trash because of that. Yeah, I want to do better overall with like managing stuff. I also suck at time management, so that's another thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, and with older stuff, like there were some games I got for Christmas that I want to potentially like do playthroughs on. Like there's a game, The Order. I thought that, I mean, I heard that it's kind of cutscene heavy, but it sounded kind of interesting. I might make a video on it. I don't know yet. I also got up to the PS3 version of Max Payne 3, which I still want to play through the first two Max Payne games on the channel. Just don't know when I'll do that. I also got the Ezio trilogy of Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed is something I've been considering starting on the channel. And yeah, again, my options are very vast and wide. I just need to get down to doing it. We'll see what happens this year. That's basically it. And that's kind of all I wanted to say in total. I think I covered every basis I meant to. Again, sorry that the last half year was kind of just lacking. I didn't mean for that to be the case, but it just was. Hopefully I can improve this year. And I did make a post about stuff like about there was like a 4-image post that I made in community posts, and I'm like, that means something. It still does. Just may not come as quickly as I thought. Because another thing that happens is that like sometimes my wanting to do certain videos overrides another that I like already said and like mentioned I was probably gonna be doing videos on, and then I feel like shit because I feel like it's kind of where that whole like I don't want to set any expectations or promises, and I'm trying to learn from that and not set them. So yeah, and one of the both, by the way, both videos I have to edit have to do with the images that I put in the community posts as of whatever, however recent that was. That was weeks ago at this point. Which, by the way, I haven't uploaded in like a month, so that's well, it's been like 3 weeks. But anyways, bottom line is, last year, first half of the year was all right. I wish I don't know. I wish more came from it, for like personal. Oh, the other thing is I want to get better at editing this year. That is a self goal of mine. None of the goals I'm making for myself this year are number wise. It's, well, actually technically not true, because the number of uploads kind of is, but it's more like I just want to upload a lot, not like any specific number tied to it. But majority of the goals at least are just self tied. They're not number tied or anything like that, because I don't know, I just trying to keep my expectations in check. Also, hopefully the mic sounds nice, because this is my home setup now. I heard that I've been seeing that a lot of people use this mic and such, and I also like try to get settings adjusted in OBS for it, so hopefully it sounds decent. I might still be toying around with the settings and for future videos and such, but I really don't like messing with settings and such. Just I've been trying to I've tried to lock down. I think I have locked down the settings I use for like my Shure SM7B and such, and I don't want to fiddle with it ever. Because I'm kind of nitpicky when it comes to it. Like, it's like, oh, do I really think that this is the best I can get it for myself, or can I improve it even more? And then sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, okay, stop messing with it. We're just gonna leave it like this. It sounds good enough for you. I'm hoping I don't have to do much meddling with this, outside of what I just did, for OBS's sake. And I mean, like, within OBS, like, I use filters within OBS. That's what I mean by that. But yeah, uh, anyways, that's probably about it for my end of the year video. I hope you guys are doing well, and I think without further ado, or I don't enunciate, do I? Without further ado, I say let's get this year started. Peace.